We believe that we're saving lives by taking the movie-making techniques and making all of live military training extremely realistic. We call it hyper-realistic. Well, Strategic Operations is part of Stu Siegel Productions, which is a TV movie studio. What happened was, when I joined them, we looked at this thing as a business model, something that is really unique that's never been done before. And that is to take all the movie-making techniques to make live military training extremely realistic. We introduced, explosives that you would see in the movies or in the TV.
We've had people that emailed us from the Middle East saying that they've never been in country before, and then literally, unfortunately, were in a firefight, or their outfit was hit by an IED, and said it was remarkably, incredibly, similar to what they went through on the training that we had done.
Medical special effects was another thing. Nobody had ever seen the kind of medical special effects. They call it, what the military uses, they call it moulage. We use, special effects, and we employ a lot of amputee actors, for example. It looks extremely realistic. It really gets the attention of even medics and corpsmen. We've freaked out all the time.
Oh, fuck! Wing! Sergeant! Help!
They think it's an accidental discharge, a real accident in training.
We create these sleeves in order for our amputees to be well protected. The process that we did before wasn't giving them as much protection, so we want to make sure that they are protected at all times. We've had people who have had knees dislocated due to this training, so we've tried to come up with a better idea and better concept to help protect them and their stumps, because our amputees are very sensitive in their lower extremities or their arm extremities, depending on which limb they're missing. We can also create babies. It's a work in progress, but we do have babies that we can make. We also have the crying baby sound that we can put into the back, wrap them up, and you can carry them around, and we can doll them up, dress them up. We can burn the hands, burn the feet, burn the entire body.
Our boss has been in the movie and television industry for a very long time. At the very beginning, he set the standard for how we're going to build items. In the movie industry, there's what's known as a hero. It means any prop that you can stick a camera directly on and you can't tell the difference. So you'll have your hero prop and you'll have a background piece. Now, background piece is something that looks great from a distance, but you can't actually, once you get up close, you can tell, well, that's not really real. Stu wanted all of the pieces from the very beginning to be heroes. He wanted it so the soldiers or whoever it was that was training around these items could walk up next to it and look at it and still be believably real. Most of our airbrush artists have more than 10 years experience, so we're using a lot of skills that are based from a lot of different areas. Eric, the guy that's painting, he comes from an inflatable background. Even our set dressers will wind up going out and putting fake blood into the area that it's being butchered and cut up. Technically, we use a sign painter's paint that has a real high UV rating, so it'll survive out in the environment that we're looking for. These weapons are weight representations. They wind up being put into the hands of role players typically, which will be civilians that play the role of an insurgent or somebody that's in these large facilities.
me to get you stuck on fire! Go, go. Move. Gotta go back.
We saw that when you ramp up the sights, the sounds, the smells, and you immerse the Marine or the soldier in an environment like we are, constructing here, you notice that they no longer think that they're in a training environment. They don't game it.
Where's he coming from?
We learned the importance of creating a fair representation for whatever the environment the soldiers are training in. Essentially, our military force currently are coming from American traditionally based societies. Most of the guys have only had to ever deal with one church, one environment, one lifestyle. Typically the military age is very young. They may or may not have had any experience with different cultures. And our representation might be their one and only chance before they head into harm's way.
We insisted that we introduce into the training that was going on at this facility some of the things that were very important in a counterinsurgency war. Very specific with regard to role players, we introduced a cultural element. We actually started teaching some of the language, some Arabic, to Marines and soldiers at the time. And this was before the military was really interested in language and culture. We would also insist that as part of the tactical training, we would do some things that were very important, and things like we would put together when there was a turnover of a unit being trained here to another unit that would take their place in our fictitious village here. We would get the village elders, the imams, the religious leaders, the political leaders, and the police force and whoever was here. We would get them into a setting, and we would do basically a meet and greet. And when they turn over, much like they would in the real world, one unit to another, they would sit down with the village elders and they would go through, questions and answers, and we did it all through interpreters.
I want to know if there's a process that's broken. Have you been making or taking steps to help the Iraqi army in the area get what they need?
Only in Arabic, and so they had to learn how to speak to individuals through interpreters, which is difficult because you want to talk to the interpreter, not to the individual who's talking to you.